All right, today we're gonna take a look at a bathtub faucet. This valve just turns the water on in one direction until you mix enough hot water that you got a bath or you got your shower up there. But anyway, this handle broke, and if you take a look in there, you can see this tiny piece of plastic broke off of the inside of the handle, and that's held in there with just a little screw. Goes into the middle of that brass fitting on the valve. Also inside this is more or less a guide, and I'll show you what that's there for. But that plastic handle on the inside, it's got some flat edges in there that will grab this brass fitting and able to turn the valve so that you can get water. Now if we look at this, the inside of this handle, you'll notice there's kind of a couple of plastic stops. And the way that this works is this plastic fitting that goes inside your valve, well, when you turn the handle to tighten the valve and shut it, it'll stop on this plastic. Sometimes you'll run into a problem where you go to close you shut your water off with that handle, and it doesn't shut the water all the way off. So on the inside of this plastic insert, you can see there's kind of a set of gears that line up with this piece. And so if you put this plastic insert in and you line this up perfectly, but when you put your handle on, it doesn't turn the water completely off, it's because it's not shutting this brass fitting off. So that's why there's those gears. So typically you should be good just to line it directly up, these two pieces. But if you need to tweak it a little bit, you can rotate the front piece, and by doing so, it's going to adjust when this actually stops the valve, stops your handle from turning anymore, and determines when the valve will shut off. So you can use that to kind of fine tune your water. And some people, you can get a little frustrated if your water's not shutting off all the way. It could be as simple as adjusting this little piece right here. We're going to run to the hardware store, get a new handle. I don't know if you can buy these by themselves. Probably can, but if not, we'll buy a little assembly kit. Put it all back together and show you how she works. Before we replace the parts, I just wanted to show you why that stop is important. When you're looking at this valve, it's got two flat edges. And if you didn't have this particular piece in there to adjust for the stop on the handle, then your handle would just turn freely. And I'll just show you here as an example. I can turn it to the right, turns on the water. If I turn it to the left, it can turn on the water. And so just to make things a little bit better, we just want it to turn one way so that it turns on, and the other way until the handle stops. It'll shut the water off. Otherwise, you're going to have to sit there and try to fiddle with it until you can get it so that it's in the right spot to stop. So we'll go ahead and get those new parts replaced. Alright, so went to Lowe's and got the replacement part. Looks like it comes with a new handle, new cover, there's a washer in there, and there's also a screw. So freshen it up pretty good. This was 14-15 bucks. So if you call a plumber out, they're going to charge you $100 just to come take a look at it and then probably charge you double or triple for the parts. So pretty easy to replace. Let's open this up and get it installed. Okay, so let's go ahead and start off installing this new part. The first thing you're going to want to do is take this washer, and if you look, it's got flat sides on the inside of the washer to line up with that brass fitting. There's a little extra one here that was also in there, I'm assuming just to keep it spaced, but either way, these keep the handle from pushing too far back in there. And I just wanted to show you an example of what it would look like, because sometimes you might get into a house that's already been set up and it's set up wrong. But we'll go ahead and align this a little bit off of the center there. And again, this has the same two kind of plastic stops. We'll see if we can get this to go on the brass fitting. So, without assembling it all together, this is what it would be like to turn it on. And then if you go to turn it off, you go all the way to the stops, but there's still water running. And that's why it's important when you're doing this setup to make sure that these parts are lined up perfectly. And then you should be able to, when you get this fit on the brass fitting, turn it to the right and water stopping. Get there eventually. But if it's a little bit off, you can always just tweak that one or two teeth on that gear head and make it work good. So to finish off the rest of this installation, it's pretty easy. This screw goes right in here into the middle of that brass fitting that's threaded. And it came with a screw that's actually got some of that thread lock on it so that it stays in place. And then it also comes with a new cover. And these covers are pretty easy, you just snap them on. So I'll show that to you real quick. Okay, so we tighten that screw in there. You just want to be careful you don't manhandle it and break your new piece. And then here is the part that just snaps in there. It's got some clips. Take these things out, it's pretty easy. You just jam a flathead screwdriver under there and pry it open. That gives you access to the screw and pretty much all handles for faucets like this or like that. So we're all squared away. Looks brand new. Water's completely shut off when we have this turned to the right and it's hitting those plastic stops. And that's how you fix it.